Hey guys, so today's video is going to be my everyday liquid foundation routine. Anytime that I'm doing full face, this is pretty much what I do. It's mostly drugstore products, but I do have some higher end things in there as well, so if you want to see how I got this foundation look that I got going on, just keep watching. Thanks. Hey guys, so to get started, all I have on my skin right now is Clean & Clear's Dual Action Moisturizer. And then I'm going to follow this up with Hard Candy Sheer Envy Primer. A little bit goes a long way. This is a product you can get from Walmart. It's usually like $5 or $6, but it can be a little bit greasy, so you kind of have to shake it up when you're starting. But I'm going to focus this on like my jawline, not so much my T-zone, but around the outside of my face, and kind of just blend whatever's left towards the middle. So since I kind of have oily skin, I've been using NYX Shine Killer. And this is kind of a thick gel treatment, and I'm going to use this all in my T-zone to fight shine throughout the day. You can get this at Ulta. You can get it on Ulta online. They're having a sale right now, which is really good. So I'm just going to focus this on my T-zone and any other areas where I get oily. So to start, I'm going to be using Revlon Color Stay Combination Oily Skin Foundation. And I'm going to be applying this with MAC's what number is this? 187 Duo Fiber Brush. I'm just going to pour a little bit on the back of my hand like this. And this is the brush I'm going to be using. I'm just going to stipple this on. You kind of have to work quickly with this foundation, so I'm just going to work on one half of my face at a time. I'm just going to kind of buff that in quickly. Okay, so now to conceal under my eyes, I'm going to be using Maybelline's Instant Age Rewind Concealer. You just twist the product up like that. I'm going to do kind of like an inverted triangle shape under my eye. It really brightens the under eye area. And it's really lightweight and feels really good going on actually, which is nice. I'm going to pat this in. I'm not going to rub it across my skin. Your skin under your eyes is really thin and delicate, so you don't want to put too much tension on it. And also, you want to pat the product in for more coverage, and you don't want to smear it where it's just going to wipe it away. That'd be pretty counterproductive. So now for blemishes, I'm going to be using Revlon Photo Ready Concealer Stick. It's a really thick and creamy formula. This is all I have left, honestly. I've been using it so much. I'm just going to dot this anywhere. This guy right here. And just lightly pat that in, making sure not to blend it away from the spots I need to cover, just the little blemishes. I'm also going to do this right where sometimes you get like a dark line or indentation on the under eye. I'm just going to add a little bit more coverage right there. So now to set my concealer and also add just a little bit more opaqueness, I'm going to be using Bare Minerals Bisque. This is a multi-purpose pigment, so they say, but it really is a concealer. And it does a really nice job of mattifying any concealing you've done. If you have a really crappy concealer and you feel like you're not going to be able to get, a lot of wear out of it, this product, just shake it in the lid with a concealer brush, will instantly boost, mattify, cover any other concealer. And you can definitely wear it by itself, but for me I feel like it's better for just like aiding any other concealing I've already done. And also just make sure that it locks it in place and it's not really going to go anywhere throughout the day. Okay, so next I'm going to set all of my foundation and makeup I have on right now. I'm going to be using Revlon Color Stay Compact Powder. This is in light medium, I believe. And I'm just going to be using a kabuki brush and kind of just swirling it in there like that and kind of pressing it, or like, I guess you could say stippling. But I'm just making sure I'm not dragging it across my skin, because if I did that, it would just be disturbing the makeup I've already applied. So I'm really just trying to press it in and lift up without disturbing what I've already done. And after that, I'm going to take my MAC 150 powder brush, and I'm just going to make sure I flick off lightly any of that excess powder. That just helps to avoid cakiness or anything like that throughout the day. So I'm just very lightly just doing all of that. So now for contouring, I'm going to be using the Estee Lauder Deluxe All Over Face Compact. This is an older compact, but it does a really good job. This is the Soft Matte Bronzer. It does look like it has a little bit of shimmer in it, but once you get into the product, it really doesn't. And to do this, I'm going to be using my Bare Escentuals Heavenly Blush Brush. It's a flat top kabuki, and it gets into this little pan really well, as well into my area where I'm going to contour. So I'm going to feel for my jawbone, my cheekbone, and I'm going to look for that the hollow part, and that's where I'm going to want to apply my color. So focusing most of the darkness up by my ear, I'm going to blend downward, and I'm going to try to not go past this line that I'm making right now with my brush. This one's really good. I'm obviously light complexion, and this bronzer in particular is not orangey, I don't feel like, and it works well for lighter skin tones. So I've been really happy with it. I've used it a lot, obviously, because it's almost gone. I'm going to take a little bit, and I'm going to kind of blend this up into my hairline, a little bit on my temple, just so I don't get any harsh lines of demarcation or anything. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm also going to take some more, and I'm going to be doing this on the underside of my jawline. And all that does is kind of frame your face out. Narrows your face, gives it more structure, if you will. So now onto blush. I'm going to be using the NYX Butt Naked Eyes palette. It has a really great pull-out drawer on the bottom with 4 blushes, a couple highlights, and a bronzer. I've used all of these before and they've worked really well. But to do my blush, I'm going to be using my Bare Escentuals Angled Face Brush. And I'm going to be kind of mixing this kind of light, not shimmery, but it's kind of got a pearlescent quality, and this kind of dolly pink. So I'm going to be mixing those two together. And just lightly at first going to do this on top of my cheekbone and kind of blending it down to meet where my contour begins. I really don't want it too much on the apples of my cheeks because honestly, some people, and it may be fine for them, but when they smile, they put the blush on the apples of their cheeks, but when they're not smiling, that blush is going to sit right back closer to your mouth than you probably want it. So I really just try to focus my blush on the top of my cheekbones, up into my temples, and blend it pretty well. And the same thing on the other side. Now to set what I've just done, I'm going to be using Palladio Rice Powder. It's a loose powder and it kind of does go everywhere, but you can get this at Sally Beauty Supply. You can get it at Ulta as well. And I'm going to be using that same MAC powder brush, focusing this on the areas I just did. I'm going to be using this to blend these two colors a little bit, just to kind of soften it up a little. It's also a good oil absorbing powder throughout the day. Helps to kind of finish and set all of the makeup that I've just done. Because it's a much more finely milled powder than, say, the Color Stay Revlon that I used already. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight. And to do that, I'm going to be using my MAC Skin Finish. This is in Lightscapade. This was a part of their Real Cinema, whatever, that movie collection they just had this spring. And it's a really pretty kind of champagne highlight, and it has some blue veins, some coral veins in it. But it's just a really pretty soft highlight. And I'm going to be using the Bare Escentuals Eye Buki. It's a dome-shaped small kabuki brush. And I guess it's obviously meant for your eye, but I feel like it's the perfect size for precise highlighting, and I really enjoyed it for that purpose. So I'm just going to be doing right here on the top of my cheekbone. You see when the light hits it, it's really a pretty shade, and it's so finely milled. It's not sparkly, it's not shimmery, but it does catch the sheen of the light really well. I'm also going to do it down the bridge of my nose, my cupid's bow, up under my brow, and that is pretty much my finished look. I'm obviously not going to do anything with my eyes or my brows today. This was just a foundation contouring blush kind of thing. So I hope you liked this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down in the comments section below. And thank you so much for watching my video. See you next time. Bye.